Hello everybody, this is how to add on your VHF add-on that I made for the Ultimate Antenna. Now, if you buy a brand new Ultimate Antenna, it'll come like this. You have to cut these zip ties right here, and this reflector goes up here. I'm going to take you down here and show you this. So, take your reflector off and just lay it to the side for right now. And you see this right here? This is the top. And this comes with two screws, a screw in each end, but I just got one in there. So, I'm going to take this screw out. And lay your two screws to the side. And this is how the VHF add-on comes. Here's your wire right here. It comes in a roll like to keep the price down. And what I'm going to do, and I do got this transformer soldered to the whiskers here. So that way you won't never have no trouble. Now I thought of something. Take your marker and mark where that went. And I got this fixed just right to go in the spot. It's just the right distance that it needs to be. So I'm going to put this in place where it goes, and I'm going to hold my drill at an angle right here. Okay. Then I'm going to take this and turn it over. And I'm going to take the second screw and I'm going to put it right here. Okay. Alright, see that? And now I'm going to take these, let me get my bit. I'm going to unloosen these some. This one right over here is pretty tight. And I'm going to make them straight. And you can put it about as tight as you want. I didn't put it very tight right there, but I don't want to like overdo it while I'm trying to make a video. You can always come out and tighten it up later, you know. And I'll go ahead and tighten that up some. Okay. So now that you got that, take your antenna, flip it over, and this comes in a roll. When you unroll it, you take a hammer, flatten it out some, hang it over the edge of something, and bend half of this down. You can do it with a hammer. I do them all the time. I got a brake, but I still do this sometimes, like when I'm just in a hurry, don't want to walk around there to the brake. So now, I'm going to get my reflector back out. My big reflector, I'm going to put it on here. And I'm going to put the curved part, put it to the top. And let's see. I usually put this on top. And I usually line up the squares and make sure you got this center. See how that's balanced? Sitting there shaking. And I got this one centered up. Okay, I went ahead and put one screw in it just so it'd be still for the filming. But I'm gonna go right here in this corner. And I see in these screws. These screws right here, they come with the Ultimate Antenna. And then I'm gonna jump to this side of the square right here. And this screw's going all the way through into the main piece right here. Y'all, I've been doing it like this right here since day one. And I never had no trouble. And right here I'm going to skip to the other side. So see how I got this done here? I put this screw in this corner, and then I went up and put this in the other corner. And I got it staggered like that all the way. Then you just take this piece, and what I'm doing is I'm putting it centered up of my VHF whisker. So make sure I got that center. And I got some little short screws here that I'll send with it. But I just gonna put these in here just like to help hold it. Especially for like the camera. Okay, and then see where this is? This is where you want to put the long screws right here. So I'll put one right here in this corner. And then I'll go up a little ways. I want to catch this right here. So I'll go up a little ways and put that in the opposite corner. Hey, and that's it right there. Take this and turn it over. You might need to shape your wire up some. I had to do that. You can take this in right here and tie some wire around it if you want to. Or you can just shape it up, to how you want it. But that's it right there. That's all you do. Look at that, how that's soldered on there. How the transformer's soldered on. And it is here too. And that's what makes an antenna last a long time. When you have the VHF add-on like this right here, you got to have a combiner or either like a booster. Okay, y'all, this is a new updated part of the video. Now, I'm going to show the whole video in its entirety. And you can watch it or skip through it, the booster part. But I don't put I used to put the RCA booster in there, a double input, and it was split the UHF and VHF plus boost. But I can't get that channel that RCA booster no more. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting the a combiner in there. And one side of this, when you open it up, you can see one side goes in UHF, one side goes in VHF. And then this is the one that would run to your TV. But you see I got a little short cable on there. And I had this short cable on here because I was running it into a booster. And then out of the booster to the TV. So this is the way it comes now. You can watch the rest of the video. I just, anyway, this is it. But I forgot to tell y'all something. See this right here? It has this attachment on it. So you put this on your pole like a little below the antenna. And you see right here I've got the cables that come from the UHF and VHF. It don't have this short one, but it has this right here. Or if you don't need a booster, you can get a combiner. You might not need a booster, but you can get a combiner, and a combiner is not a splitter. It looks like a splitter, but it's not a splitter. A combiner has got the separate UHF and VHF, and it brings it all together. This antenna right here is made out of copper, and all these are soldered on. So see, this antenna won't never lose contact with one of the elements. If an element loses contact with the rest of the antenna, and I'm talking about any antenna they make, it'll mess it up. Now, I didn't seen it. But this is with any antenna. If it loses connection, you know them store-bought that you buy that's got the little flip with rivets and all that? You got to watch out for that. These right here is soldered very heavy duty. And I've been doing it a while, and I done sold a bunch of them. And I ain't never had nobody that told me one of these broke. But when you put your coax into this, pull this cap off. You want to put dielectric grease in there. And also I use a little liquid called liquid tape. And once I put my dielectric grease in there, I put the liquid tape in there because you don't want no water to get into that antenna. Now this antenna will last forever. But if water gets in that coax, you might not never really be heard that before. Because they don't, once you done bought the antenna, they don't care, the antenna companies. But if water gets into that coax, it'll mess it up. And you won't know what happened. Because it won't completely knock it out. But it'll knock some of the weaker stations out. But somebody like that I put up antennas for, they know what they can get and they know what they can't get. And when you go over to their house, if they say, and I had a little trouble with this in the beginning because I didn't know about it. I was just like you. Nobody told me. But anyway, I found out if water gets in there, it'll mess it up. And sometimes it'll go a long time without water getting in there. But it will get in there sooner or later if you don't fix it up the way I see it. Alright, I'm going to show you this. You want to make sure all these is flat. And this is 4.5. This is the magic number. So before you put your antenna up, you want to make sure these is all 4.5. And you want to make sure that everything's flat. And I got something I want to tell you here that's important. Even if you're not even using the VHF reflector. You want to make sure this is centered up. I'm talking about this way and the whiskers. You want to make sure that the reflector is outside of these whiskers a little bit on both ends. I might have this and slid up a little further than usual, but when you're using this reflector right here, it's not so critical about having it lined up. Now this is an antenna right here that I had made up, and I think what I was doing when I made this right here, I was showing you how to put screw this to the pole. And you can do it the way I got it. I just drilled some holes, and the screws don't even come all the way through, but they go into one side. This thing is very light. And see how I got this cable on the inside of the square pieces here? And y'all, the price of this, it may not stay what it is. It may come down. I believe in selling something cheap if you can. But, so the price might change. I got a video where I drove down the interstate. And it's on YouTube right now. Where I drove down the interstate, this thing about sticking up in the back of the truck, about 9 foot tall, driving 70 miles an hour. The wind just blows right through this right here. You try that with one of them big antennas. And one last thing I'm going to throw at you. The Ultimate antenna is the strongest antenna I've ever seen. I didn't know that, but like just so many years of me putting them up, I didn't know it was as strong as it was when I first made it. But like just so many years of putting them up and bringing other people's antenna home, and I'm talking about them big as a truck. But anyway, I've tried them and compared them and all that, and it ain't just enough to me to make an antenna as good as the company makes. I don't see no reason to make one like if it ain't no better than what you can buy already. I just don't see no reason to do it. But this is the strongest antenna you can buy, and I'll tell you what, this antenna's competition is signal-wise. Now, you know them big old antennas I was talking about, big as a truck, a small truck. That's what this antenna's competition is. They about neck and neck. Now I promise you, I won't lie to you for money. Well, I don't lie, I ain't much about that anyway, but anyway, I got a buddy that's got one of them big old style crafts. And anyway, he compared them. He's got the signal meter and all that, you know, like I use. And he compared them. And they was about neck and neck. To be honest with you, he said I might have been getting him a little bit. He come and bought one of these from. But anyway, he compared them. He said I may be getting him just a little bit. But you know what the thing about them big antennas is? And y'all, I ain't got no reason to just sit here and say this stuff. Man, they'll blow down. You ride around your neighborhood. When you put them up, if one of them elements blow and get bent, might as well take a sawzall and just cut that whisker off. And when you do, that antenna is out of phase. If it moves, like, you know, bent, like, it probably won't hurt if it's just bent a little bit. But if it's bent over yonder, it'll mess it up. But it'll still pick up. You won't even know, but one day you'll just be sitting there and realize, hey, my antenna ain't picking up as good as it used to be. That's what I'm talking about. We'll see y'all next time.